أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. Saintly women, Rabia Basriyyah, rahmatullahi alayha. Throughout time there have been many prophets sent to mankind for guidance, roughly 124,000, but none of these were women. There have been, however, countless saintly women, the greatest four of which were Maryam alayhi salam, the mother of Isa alayhi salam, Asiya alayhi salam, the wife of Fir'aun, Khadija radiyallahu anha, the wife of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and Fatima radiyallahu anha, the daughter of the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says about Maryam alayhi salam in the Quran, in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 42 to 43. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وإذ قالت الملائكة يا مريم إن الله اصطفاك وطهرك واصطفاك على نساء العالمين يا مريم اقنطي لربك واسجدي واركعي مع الراكعين. He says in Surah Al-Imran, verse number 42 to 43, and remember when the angel said, O Maryam, verily Allah has chosen you, purified you, and chosen you above the women of the worlds. O Maryam, submit yourself with obedience to your Lord, and prostrate yourself, and bow down along with those who bow down. Another great saintly woman who surpassed many men and women in piety, worship and closeness to Allah was Rabia Basriyyah, rahmatullahi alayha. On the night Rabia rahmatullahi alayha was born, the house was in complete darkness. Her father was unable to even buy oil for the lamp on account of his poverty. There were no garments to wrap the newborn baby. She was the fourth daughter, and hence she was named Rabia, the fourth. Her mother asked her father, as in Rabia's father, to go to a neighbor's house to get some oil. Rabia's father had vowed never to ask anything from anyone. However, to satisfy his wife, he went to the neighbor's house, knocked on the door, and came away before anyone opened it. On his return, he told his wife that the door was not opened. Grief-stricken, he fell asleep. In a dream, he saw Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam telling him, "Do not grieve. This girl born to you is exceptionally fortunate and holy. By her intercession, 70,000 people of my ummah will be forgiven. Go to the governor of Basra and convey to him this message written on a page. Every night you recite 100 durood on me, and on Friday night 400 times. Last Friday night you forgot to recite the durood. As a compensation for this omission, give this person 400 dinar." Rabia's father woke up crying. He wrote out the message and went to meet the governor. He handed the letter to a guard. When the governor read the letter, he was moved by the fact that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had remembered him. He ordered 10,000 dirham to be given to the poor as a token of gratitude. He went out to meet Rabia's father. After presenting him with the 400 dinar, he said, "In future, whatever your needs are, come to me without any hesitation." After she came of age, her parents passed away. There was a great famine in Basra. The sisters were separated, and a cruel man abducted her. He enslaved her and finally sold her very cheaply. All day long she worked for her master and spent the night in ibadah. One night her master woke up and heard her supplicating. When he went to investigate, he saw a lamp miraculously hanging in mid-air above her, lighting up the entire room. She was saying, "O Allah, you know that my heart's desire is to serve you, and the light of my eyes is in your service. Since you have subjected me to be in the service of people, I am late for your service." Rabia's master resolved to set her free. In the morning he emancipated her. and said, "You are free to go. If you choose to stay here, you are welcome. However, then I shall serve you." Taking permission, she departed to spend her time in the ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Once while she was in the service of her master, she was sent on an errand. Along the way, a man accosted her. In fright, she fled and slipped and broke her hand. Praying to Allah ta'ala, she cried, "O Allah, I am without mother and father. Now my hand too is broken. But I do not care for these calamities if you are pleased with me. Are you pleased with me or are you displeased with me?" A voice called to her, "On the day of Qiyamah, even the Muqarrab angels, the very close angels, will envy your rank." Daily she used to perform 1,000 nafil rakat, 1,000 units of voluntary prayer. When she went for Hajj, she took along a donkey on which she loaded a few of her belongings. The donkey died along the journey. The people accompanying her offered her to carry her belongings, but she refused, saying, "Proceed, I do not come relying on you." The caravan continued, leaving her behind. With her perfect trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, she supplicated for His aid. Even before completing her dua, the donkey came back to life. Rabia continued her journey and reached Makkah Muazzama. Rabia, in her yearning for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, prayed to be shown His vision. A voice called out to her, "If you desire me, I shall reveal a manifestation, a tajalli of myself, and in a moment you will be reduced to ash." Rabia said, "O Allah, I lack the power for your tajalli. I wish for the rank of faqr, the rank of poverty, spiritual poverty. As in, it's a spiritual rank that the poor people have amongst the Muslims." The voice said, "O Rabia, faqr is the famine of my wrath. We have reserved it exclusively for those men, Awliya, who have completely reached us. There remains not even a distance of a hair between them and us. At that juncture we then distance them from our proximity. In spite of this, they do not lose hope in us. They again commence their journey towards us. While this is their condition, you are still wrapped in the veils of time. As long as you are with the folds of these veils and have not entered into our path with a true heart, it is improper for you to even mention faqr." The voice then commanded Rabia to lift her gaze towards the heaven. As she complied, she observed a vast rolling ocean of blood suspended in space. The voice said, "This is the ocean of blood of the tears of my lovers, who are lost in my absorption. This is their first stage in their journey to reach Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala." Once Rabia, overcome with tiredness, fell asleep. A thief entered and took her shawl, but he was unable to find his way out. When he replaced the shawl, he saw the exit. Again he took the shawl and lost his way. He replaced the shawl and saw the way out. He repeated this process several times. Then he heard the voice saying, "Why bring a calamity on yourself? She whose shawl this is has handed herself over to another being. Even shaitan cannot approach her. A thief is not able to steal her shawl. Leave it and depart." Once when Rabia was on a mountain, the wild beasts of the jungle gathered around her and stared at her in wonder. Coincidentally, Hadrat Hassan al-Basri appeared on the scene. All the animals scattered and disappeared into the jungle. In surprise, he said, "The animals fled when they saw me. Why did they stay with you?" Rabia asked, "What did you eat today?" Hassan al-Basri said, "Meat and bread." Rabia replied, "When you have eaten meat, why should they not flee?" It was said to Rabia, Hadrat Hassan says that if on the day of judgment he is deprived of Allah's vision even for a moment, he will lament so much that the inmates of Jannah will take pity on him. Rabia said, "True, but this claim is appropriate for only a person who does not forget Allah Ta'ala here on earth for a single moment." The people used to ask her, "Why do you not take a husband?" Rabia responded, "I am saddled with 3 concerns. If you remove these worries from me, I shall take a husband. 1. Tell me, will I die with Iman? 2. On the day of Qiyamah, will my record of deeds be given in my right hand or my left hand? And 3. On the day of Qiyamah, will I be among the people of the right side or the left side?" The people said that they were unable to give her assurances regarding these issues. She said, "A woman who has these fears has no desire for a husband." When asked for the cause of her constant crying, Rabia said, "I fear separation from Allah Ta'ala. I fear that at the end when I die, I may be rejected and it may be announced that you do not deserve to be in our presence." She was asked, when is Allah pleased with the person? Rabia replied, when he expresses gratitude for the effort on his path just as he expresses gratitude for bounties. She said, as long as a man's heart is not alert, his other limbs cannot find the path to Allah. An alert heart is a heart lost in divine absorption. Such a heart is not in need of the aid of the other limbs. This stage is called fana, or self-annihilation. She said, only verbal istighfar, asking for forgiveness verbally, is the act of liars. When a vain person makes tawbah, he should again make tawbah for the sin of vanity. Once Rabia kept 7 fasts and spent the entire night in ibadah. On the 7th day, someone presented her a bowl of milk. When she went to fetch the lamp, a cat came and drank the milk. She decided to break the fast with water. When she brought a cup of water, the lamp was extinguished. As she lifted the cup, it slipped and broke. She drew a sigh and said, "O Allah, what are you doing to me?" A voice said, "O Rabia, if you desire the bounties of the world, we shall bestow it to you, but then we shall remove our love from your heart. Our love and the worldly bounties cannot coexist in the same heart." Then Rabia severed all her worldly hopes, and her attitude was like that of a person in his death throes. Each morning she supplicated, "O Allah, keep me engrossed in you and do not allow the people of the world to divert me." Once when Hazrat Hasan al-Basri went to visit Hazrat Rabia rahmatullahi alayha, he found one of the wealthy and prominent citizens of Basra standing with a bag of money, weeping at her door. On inquiring, he said, "I have brought this gift for Rabia. I know she will refuse it, hence I am crying. Do intercede for me. Perhaps she will accept it." Hasan Basri went inside and delivered the message. Rabia said, "Since I have recognized Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I have renounced the world. I am not aware of its source, whether it's halal or haram." Malik bin Dinar went to visit Rabia once. He found in her home only a partly broken jug which she used for wudu and drinking water, a very old straw mat on which she slept, and a brick which she used as a pillow. Malik bin Dinar said, "I have many affluent friends. Shall I ask them to bring some items for you?" Rabia said, "O Malik, is my provider your provider and the provider of the wealthy not the same being?" Malik said, "Yes." Rabia said, "Has he forgotten about the needs of the poor on account of their poverty, while he remembers the needs of the wealthy?" Malik bin Dinar said, "It is not so." Rabia said, "When he never forgets anyone, why should we remind him? He has wished this condition for me, and I am pleased with it because it is his pleasure." Rabia used to supplicate, "O Allah, my duty and my desire on earth are your remembrance, and in the akhirah your vision. You are the master." When her time was to depart from this world was near, the mashayikh gathered by her. She said, "Go away and leave the place for the angels." They all went out and closed the door. While they were waiting outside, they heard from within a voice reciting, "O soul at rest, return to your Rabb." For a long while thereafter there was silence. When they went inside, they discovered that Rabia's soul had been taken and that she had reached Allah. In a dream someone asked her, "What transpired between Munkar and Nakir when they came to you?" What transpired when Munkar and Nakir came to you? Rabia replied, when they asked me, "Who is your Rabb?" I said, "Go back, say to Allah, when you had never forgotten this weak woman despite your remembrance of the entire creation, how can she forget you when on earth you are her only remembrance? Why do you send angels to question her?" Muhammad Aslam Tusi and Numan Tartusi rahmatullahi alayhima stood at her graveside. One of them said, "O Rabia, during your lifetime you made bold and audacious claims of having renounced the world. Tell us, what has transpired now with you?" From inside the grave, Hazrat Rabia rahmatullahi alayha spoke, "May Allah grant me barakat in what I have seen and I am seeing of the wonders of the spiritual realm."